Welcome to the Startup Funding Espresso. I'm Halti Martin, the host of this show where we talk about raising funding for your startup and the time it takes to have an espresso. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, this is Halti Martin with the Startup Funding Espresso, your daily shot of startup funding and investing. A startup investment goes through a series of stages. It starts with the pitch presentation, in which the startup introduces the deal to the investors. Then there's the first follow-up meeting, in which the investors dig into the deal to learn the details. Investors want to think about it and also want to see the startup continue to make progress. Then comes the due diligence phase, in which the investors perform a more rigid review of the startup's documents, team, and market. If the term sheet has been established by other investors, then the investors review those documents. If not, the investors must negotiate the terms, including valuation. Investors then check with their network to see who else may want to invest or put it out to other investors for syndication. And finally, there's closing of the round with the signing of the documents. Not every startup makes it all the way through the process. Here are some key challenges. When the investors come together to dig into the deal, it must have enough traction and value propositions to maintain the investors' interest before the investors commit time to it. Some deals stall because the diligence process didn't continue because the investors were distracted away. And some deals stall because the startup and the investors cannot agree on valuation. And finally, some deals stall out or come up with a lower investment amount because some investors fell out at the closing stage. It's important to keep momentum going throughout the process, both on the investor side and the startup side. Thank you for joining us for the Startup Funding Espresso, where we help startups and investors connect for funding. Let's go start up something today. Halti Martin is the director of Investor Connect, which is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the education of investors for early stage funding. All opinions expressed by Hall and podcast guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Investor Connect. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for the basis of investment decisions.